Welcome parents. This is our information evening for our year groups regarding our assessment procedures that we use at Gosford High School. These evenings are usually a face-to-face evening, and we would have you at our hall and we'd be going through the procedures and the processes that we have in place at Gosford High School to ensure that all of our assessment tasks are given to all of the students in a fair and equitable manner, and that the students have the best chances of achieving the highest results. Today you're going to hear from each of our year advisors, and you will also hear from the head teacher, the deputy, and you'll hear about some of the welfare supports that we have in place that are there to support the students at Gosford High School. Everything here is obviously built around giving students at Gosford High School that have a high potential and gifted education programs the best opportunities. And through our assessment processes in the booklets that each of you have been given access to, you'll be able to see information that allows students to plan and prepare the best they can for the assessments each year. When we hear from each of the presenters, you'll notice that there's some common themes that come through. And when we have our ex-students coming back and talking to Year 12 students, they also echo the same messages to the students, and that all begins with planning. A well-planned year and organisation is really the key to success. Not only does it allow you to know when the assessment tasks are going to occur and when there's bunching of tasks, which inevitably occurs every year, it also allows you to put the chances of stress and anxiety, further at bay, which is a really a big part of making the journey through each year successful. The assessment processes that we have in place right from year 7 right through to year 12 really are mirrored in each year group. We do this so that students are well prepared when they finally get to stage 6 for the expectations of the HSC. With that being the final goal for us, and the transition usually to university, we find that by making assessment tasks having the same format all the way through school, students are familiar and able to best succeed. In each task you'll see due dates, you'll see a very detailed description of what the expectations are, and you'll also find information about what the teachers expect in the marking criteria. Please listen carefully to each of the presentations, and obviously you'll be able to go back through it and watch. But the real key is to having a look at that assessment book, looking at the actual subjects your child's enrolled in, and then making sure that you mark on the calendars or the planning tools that we've given you opportunities and putting down the times that they will occur. We do look forward to next week when we can move back to normal operations. Today we're filming on Friday the 25th of February, which is the last day where we have a lot of the COVID restrictions in place at school. And as of next week, we're expecting that we'll be able to do more of these evenings and more information where we'll be able to have parents on site and get to meet you face to face and actually talk about your individual child's needs and how we can assist you. But as always, communication is the key. Please be in touch. If there's anything that we can do to support your child, contact the school. You can contact us through the school email, or you can contact us through the front office in office hours, and we can direct you to the right person. And in most cases, that person will be the year advisor. So familiarise yourself with the booklet, know the year advisors, and I really do hope you find the rest of the information in this short webinar useful. Thank you very much.
My name is Mr. Bern Larginestra, and I am the Year 8 Year Advisor. My assistant is Miss Emily Bohouse. Our job is to ensure that the students in the year group feel happy and supported. This could mean ensuring that you are able to manage your workload, navigate peer groups, access support networks, find extracurricular activities. So if you want help, come find me in the science staff room. Or Miss Bowhouse in the PDHPE department. So any other questions, feel free to email me or Miss Bowhouse at this address.
Hello parents and caregivers of Year 8 students at Gosford High School in 2022. My name is Shani Klempert and I am the Deputy Principal of Years 8, 10 and 12. In this recorded presentation, I will be explaining how our assessment rules and procedures work, how your child can plan for success, and how you can support your child in doing this. I'll also go through the ways that we recognise student achievement and acknowledgement at Gosford High School. On the screen is the cover of our Year 8 assessment policy and schedules at Gosford High School this year. You would have received this in an email, but if you've misplaced the email, it's also located on the parent portal. I suggest and advise that you and your child read through this very carefully because this underpins all of the processes and practices around assessment at Gosford High School in Year 8. It is our school's responsibility to ensure that all NESA compliance is adhered to around curriculum and assessment at the school. If you'd like to investigate further around all of the information in NESA and the courses that your child does, get onto the NESA website there and look at the education standards. It's a great resource for parents and students. It is really around the students' proactive approach to their assessments and their working in the classroom, and to regularly communicate with their teachers around any challenges or issues that they're experiencing. Early communication around this area from the student to the teacher ensures that they can be supported in the classroom and beyond. It is your child's responsibility to meet all course and school requirements, including attendance at classes. It's their responsibility to apply themselves with diligence and sustained effort to the set work and experiences provided in each course. And it is their responsibility to be aware of and follow the assessment requirements and procedures. Every subject that your child does in Year 8 at Gosford High School has an assessment schedule for the year. I will be unpacking that in a moment. These schedules are located towards the rear of the Year 8 assessment booklet. These are there so that you can plan with your child and they can organise themselves and submit assessment tasks and prepare for these assessment tasks ahead of time so that can reach their potential. Your child will also receive an assessment task notification for each assessment task. This could be in the form of a hard copy handed out in class or uploaded to the Google Classroom digitally. These are the official assessment tasks that are given out to the students at least 2 weeks prior to the published timeframe in the booklet. Assessment task notifications outline the specific requirements of each assessment task, and these notifications will be also uploaded for your reference to the parent portal. Here we have an example of an assessment schedule. This is actually the Year 8 English assessment schedule for 2022. As you can see in the table, there are 4 assessment tasks across the year in English for this year. It shows the nature of the tasks. There are a range of tasks. So task 1 is a genre study and a podcast. Task 2 is poetry study and an essay. Task 3 is a literary worlds narrative. And task 4 is the art of drama, which is a speech. The timing shows the time frame within the term and the year that these tasks will be due. The assessment notification will have the exact date and time, but at least the students can see and plan accordingly for each of their subjects with this timing schedule there. The outcomes assessed are directly from the syllabus, so those outcomes are what are being looked at and marked in each of the different tasks. And as you can see at the bottom there, Each task is worth 25% to give a combined total for the year in Year 8 English of 100%. On the screen is an example of an assessment task notification that your child will receive for each assessment task in each of their courses. In this instance, it's a Year 9 English assessment task. However, across Years 7 to 12, all assessment task notifications take the same format, so the students get used to reading the information within each task. In the top area, it shows the unit, what number task it is, the weighting of the task, and the date and time of the task, so that you can plan accordingly. If you have multiple tasks, at least you know when each of these are exactly due. The outcomes to be assessed are underneath there, and they are extracted directly from the syllabus. In the middle of the notification is the description of this particular task and what the student will be asked to do in their submission. In this instance, it's an in-class written task, and the students don't have to upload anything. They will complete the task in class time. On the notification is also examples of how students can prepare for the assessment task, so that they can get feedback both in the classroom and, in this instance, some draft copies to get feedback so they can work to potential for the actual assessment task. There's also a marking criteria for each question in this instance. Question 1 shows what the student will need to write to get full marks, or 3 marks, 2 marks, or 1 mark for that question. All the questions have, for example, question 4 is a longer response, so therefore there's a wider range of marks, and highly developed in the top area for an A there. What do I need to do to submit my potential work to achieve my best? And this will be explained to your child in each task in class, subject appropriate. I have attached some blank pro formas of these to the Google Classroom, and I will also place some on the parent portal for you to print off, so that you can sit down with your child and plan accordingly when they have assessment tasks coming up. On the top there is an example of a student who has blocked out periods of time for planning for homework. In this particular case, the student works a little bit, socialises, dinner with family at dinner time, and what their weekends look like. So everyone will be different. However, if there's a visual plan and some structure to preparation, the students who do that, we see them succeed more. So please ask your child to, sit with you, show them your assessment task notifications, and if they have misplaced them, remember they're on the parent portal for you to print off so you can plan together. We have quite a rigorous absence, illness and misadventure process at the school. This is to ensure that all students have the same opportunities, and no one is advantaged, no one is disadvantaged, and everything is fair and equitable for all. So we ask your support around these guidelines in the booklet, and suggest that you read these guidelines through the booklet as well. So if your child is absent on the day of an assessment task, please notify the office by 9 AM of the day of the assessment, and your child will need to get a medical certificate. If you have prior knowledge of your child being absent from school, for example, if they have a sporting commitment representing the school, or an external extracurricular activity, or something that's going to impact on them attending the assessment task, please contact the school as soon as you know about that clash, and we will put a process in place to ensure that your child is accommodated for. There will be an illness misadventure form to send home that you will be adding a letter to say why your child won't be able to make the assessment, and we will make accommodations for them to sit the task either before or immediately after they return to school. If your child is absent, they will be, at the first day back at school, they will be doing the assessment tasks that they have missed, and they will also be needing to fill in the absence paperwork. So I'm sure that you'll support our process to make sure that all assessment tasks at Gosford High School are equitable and fair for all students. The assessment, illness and misadventure process that I've just explained with you is quite lengthy. However, the flowchart towards the rear of the assessment policy booklet is a reference for you to follow the process that you need to do and contact the school should you need to do so. Technology and assessment tasks. Technology failure is not cause for an appeal for any assessment tasks. We encourage you to read the technology in assessment tasks section in the policy with your child, and there are many ways that they can back up their work in different ways. Some of them are on the screen. The rest of them are in the assessment policy booklet. But please, technology, be careful, save everything as you go, and have a backup at all times. Here is the process and the appeal form for should anything happen if you're absent or ill. So you would be collecting your form immediately when you return to school should you be ill from the Deputy Principal's office. Please ensure that the form is complete, including anything to support your form. So that would be a parent letter, screenshots, whatever you need, emails to support your appeal application. Attach the supporting documentation to the appeal form and submit the form to the Deputy Principal within 2 days. This needs to be quite a prompt process so that the people involved can be contacted and there can be an outcome. So the form and the flowchart there are located in the back of the assessment policy booklets. There are many ways that students are recognised and their work is celebrated at Gosford High School. In the first instance, in class, your child could be awarded a merit, and these merits accumulate across the years. So when your child receives the amount of merits in the table there, they would be getting a formal merit award, and some of those are present on the screen there. So a merit award is after 20 merits, year advisor award is after 40 merits, deputy principal, etc., etc. These are posted home to students and can be put into portfolios, particularly leading into university, as a record of excellence across the years at Gosford High School. At Gosford High School, we have faculty awards. This means that each of our faculty areas each semester put forward a couple of students from each class. It could be for achievement, improvement, commitment, or effort, and those awards are posted home. And there is an example of a visual arts faculty award on the screen there. The children can also participate in house games, and if they participate in the house games, which are done at lunch and run by our house captains, they also have a point that goes towards their house. If your child receives a merit in class, that also goes towards their house points. Phones and digital time. Student phones are to be turned off or on silent and in bags during class time. This is so it doesn't distract the student and their focus on the teaching and learning occurring in the classroom, and it's also it's a distractor to the teacher as well, who is offering the delivery of the lessons. If you need to contact your child at all, you can do that through the front office, and your child will get the message through our front office. Another thing that we always communicate to our parent body is technology and phones at home. Where is the phone located during the night? We all need to get a good night's sleep, particularly children. So could we please ask your support in monitoring your child's screen time through the night so that they can get a good night's sleep and come to school fresh, ready to learn. Thank you very much for your support with this request. A good way to keep abreast of what's happening across the school is through our social pages of Gosford High School Facebook and Instagram pages. These celebrate success, achievements and post announcements of upcoming events to all of our parent body and wider community. For Year 8, a lot of communication is done to the students via their Year 8 Google Classroom, and that's the front page of the classroom there, Year 8 2022, and the Google Classroom code to access that for the children is on the screen as well. Parents are not able to be part of the Google Classrooms and make comments, etc. However, your child can show you any messages through the Google Classroom so that you are aware of what's happening in Year 8. We encourage your child to feel connected to Gosford High School. We are a unique population at school with everybody coming from everywhere around the region and beyond. So your child is encouraged to be involved in the house games, as I mentioned earlier, to participate in the culture of the school. There are regular year meetings with Year 8 cohort and general school assemblies. Whole school wellbeing events, for example, Elevate is a whole school study program tailored for specific cohorts. Targeted wellbeing programs across the year. Mr. Howe, our head teacher welfare, will be communicating those with you when they arise. And we're hoping to start our lunchtime clubs again, run by our leadership team. The COVID restrictions have limited that happening in the past 6 months, but we're hoping that these can start up again soon. Extracurricular activities such as concert band, dance group, and sporting teams can also support your student feeling connected to the school. Parents and caregivers have access to the parent portal at Gosford High School so that they can download permission notes, they can access assessment task notifications that I spoke about earlier, and also school reports. If you have any difficulties accessing the parent portal, please contact us at school, in particular our head teacher technology, Mr. Brian Jackson. His email is also on the screen that you can email him direct with your request for assistance. Thank you very much, parents and caregivers of Year 8 students, Gosford High School 2022. In the first instance, should you need to contact the school with anything Year 8 related, please contact Bern Laginestra, who is your child's year advisor, Miss Emily Bauhaus is assistant year advisor, Chris Howe is our head teacher welfare, and myself as deputy principal 8, 9 and 12. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Mr. Howe, the head teacher welfare at Gosford High School. My role is to help support your young person with their wellbeing in their time at Gosford. I have a large team that I work alongside who we're all here to look after the pastoral needs of your young person. For example, my year advisor team work with every year group, of course, and they're the first point of contact if there's an issue or concern that you'd like to raise with us, or just to keep us up to date with what's going on with your young person. The other people in my team, I have a school counsellor every day. I also have a student support officer, a wellbeing nurse, and a learning support team as well. And they're all there, as I said before, to support your young person's needs and support their wellbeing at school. We also run a number of wellbeing programs and educational programs around topics which are of relevance and importance as your student is going through their high school journey too. And as I said, our main job is to try and ensure that your young person comes to school happy and is successful and is able to kind of maintain a healthy work-life and study balance and thrive in this environment. And that's what we really aim to do. If you've got any questions or would like to know anything more about our wellbeing and learning support, please get in contact with the school. And as I said, the communication is really important, so please reach out if you need anything. Thanks.